Hello, sir. Hello, everyone. We will discuss all about influence of fruit maturity and germination rate. Influence of fruit maturity and germination rate. We all know that seed is very important in the life cycle of the plant. Seed is the starting point of the life cycle of the plant. It plays an important role on the survival of each of the plant species. It establishes foundation of the next generation of these species. Seed have a unique way of surviving under unfavorable conditions, which could help or not in the germination of the seeds. By this study, the appropriate seed germination treatment of the different beech tree species could be known, and it will help also to increase germination rate, which could help to the restoration of the degraded beech forest. The degradation of the beech forest is slowly becoming a concern with the different changes in the environment. The main objective of this study is to determine the idea of fruit maturity and the seed viability of the selected beech forestry species in order to attain high seed germination rate. Time and place of this study are it was it will be conduct it will be conduct on January to May 2020 at Terrestrial Ecosystem Division or TED of the Institution of the Tropical Ecology and Environmental Management in the ITEM under in the Visayas State University in Visca. Okay. So materials and method. The seed that collected will be divided into three treatments: the light brown, the dark brown, and the violet. The color will be an indication of the maturity of the seed. There will be a two setup in the terms of planting or this a sub treatment. So the setup that with soaking and without soaking. The seed will be soaked for 8 hours in a container containing a tap water. The seed that are not soaked will be planted directly from the seed bags and will be placed inside the greenhouse. Once one species for each setup with a four treatment, two, three treatment, and a four replication. So one of the species that I will conduct is the Stercolia fotida. So that color, as what you see under in the the color violet and the dark brown and the light brown. So that is the fruit maturity of the seed. And this first setup without soaking is what you see. This figure 1 is the indication of the color of the maturity of the seed. The fruit maturity is the treatment 1, like what I said. The treatment 1 is the violet, treatment 2 is the dark brown, treatment 3 is the light brown. And I do the random picking, so it will be like the setup. So it has by the way, each treatment has a 4 replication, and each 4 replication has a 10 samples. And the second figure is the second setup of soaking. So this figure is same in the figure 1. It just indicate the color, the maturity of the seed. And this soak was soaked in 8 hours. So it has also four 4 replication and 10 samples. Soaking and without soaking result. So when I was when I was plant the seed, it these figures only showed the exact date and how many seed that was germinate in that exact date. So in May 31, it shows that there's a 4 seed was uh, was germinate, and it's really shown here in without soaking in this image. It just shows that in June 3, 2019, without soaking, most of lot of their population of without soaking uh, was germinate. It has 63. So the next image only shows us the the duration or the graph of how fast is the succession of the germination of without soaking compared to soaking, that you will soak the plant. So it really quite big different that most of the without soaking was most of their population was already germinate. So this next image that you saw is the without soaking. This is a survival. So this is a survival rate that the the color violet is the treatment 1, and the dark brown is the treatment 2, and the light brown is the treatment 3. As what you see, this is a survival rate that most, we all know that they have 40 uh, seed under treatment 1, and treatment 2 has a 40, treatment 3 has also a 40. So there only has 37 out of 40 was germinate, and the dark brown has a 40. So perfect. A lot of the seed that I plant under dark brown was perfectly planted, and the light brown was showed also 34. So it has 6 seed was not germinate. And under on the next slide, as what you see, that is without soaking. So without soaking, this without soaking is already shows this is the days, the number of the days, the expected days, and the days, the exact date that when was the seed was germinate. So I just only do the expected dates, the days that it will be it will be germinate in 10 days. But it shows here that on the treatment tree was in the exact 5 days after I plant the seed. 5 days is the exact day that the seed was germinate, and the treatment 1 and treatment 2 was has a same uh, same date was germinate, and that is in 6 days. So they have different in a days, 1 day. So on the next slide, it shows that soaking. So soaking is also showed here that the treatment 3 is very treatment 3 is also shows that 7 days, it has 7 days, and And the treatment 1 and treatment 2 was germinate in um, more than 10 days, unlike to treatment 3, 7 days only. So same with the without soaking, I do the expected days and the exact date that when was the the seed was germinate. So it really shows here sa without soaking and soaking. The treatment 1 is very advisable in terms of succession, or if you want to have a fast to germinate a seed so that we will be plant a lot of trees. So treatment 3 is very advisable to plant. But in terms of survival, so we showed here soaking. Soaking is under the survival rate. So shows here soaking, the color violet has 39, dark brown is 37, and the light brown is 35. So there almost the violet was almost perfect, but they has their one seed that was dead, and light brown is 35. So a while ago, as what we see under the survival rate, the without soaking shows that light brown is only 34, but in soaking is only 35. So under, if we will say about survival rate, it's not really advisable that the treatment tree will be a plant, especially if you want to have a lot of plant, lot of tree. So light brown is not really advisable to plant if you will talk about survival. But if we will talk about succession, if we want fast, so it shows here that the treatment 3 is just only 5 days, unlike to if we were going to use without soaking, it has only 5 days, and the treatment 1 and treatment 2 has a 6 days. So it has 1 day quite different. So unlike soaking also, there's quite big difference. If you will soak the seed, it really need 3 days in order that 3 days is different. So it has 7 days. Treatment 3 will be germinate in 7 days. So what I see, this is compare the survival rate. We merge the survival rate of the violet, dark brown, and the light brown, the soaking and without soaking. So it shows here 37 in the color violet, 39 and 40, 37, and 34 and 35. So the first 37 is without soaking and 39 is soaking. Dark brown is 40, 37. Light brown is 34 and 35. So my conclusion is without soaking is advisable to the seed in terms of survival rate. It also showed that the days of the duration of germination of the seed has a quite big difference in both treatment. Without soaking is advisable to use to the seed. Under without soaking, the ideal fruit maturity to use the treatment 3, that is the light brown. But in terms of survival rate, the light brown is not advisable because it really showed on the figure under survival rate that most of the seed was not all of the seed was quite germinate. So under soaking, the ideal fruit maturity is to use the treatment 3, and that is the light brown. And same with under without soaking, light brown is not really quite advisable in terms of survival rate. So if we will talk about survival rate, I can advise that I can advise that the dark brown is has if without soaking it has a 40 or perfect germination, so it has a 40. And in without soaking, there in soak, if you want to soak the seed, it has a color violet. It must be used because 39 out of 40 was germinate. So okay, so that is all about influence and fruit maturity and germination rate. So thank you for listening and have a great day, sir.